Hi, Dr. Carlblum here to talk about another postpartum topic with you today. I've got my youngest here with me again. And I wanted to mention something incredibly important to all new moms, which is postpartum depression and some of the things that we can do about that. In our other videos, we've talked about how hormones can affect anxiety and depression in menopause or perimenopause or just in life in general, but they are exceptionally important in the postpartum period as well. Something that we have talked about in the past has been a neurosteroid called allopregnanolone. It's made its way into a number of our videos for various topics, but it is incredibly important for this one as well. So allopregnanolone is a neurosteroid. It's important for modulating the effects of stress in the brain, helping us manage anxiety and depression and mood. Also important for inflammation. Something that has been studied a lot during pregnancy and now being studied more during the postpartum period as well. During pregnancy, allopregnanolone, which is a cousin of progesterone, is incredibly high. It has a number of functions during the growth of the fetus, but one of the most important is blocking the effects of stress. Now, if you fast forward to the postpartum period, you can imagine that stress is abundant. You're not sleeping. If it's your first child, you're figuring out how to be a mom for the first time or how to care for someone else and yourself at the same time. If you're a mom of more than one kid, you're figuring out how to juggle two kids at the same time. Whatever the reasons are, stress tends to be very high, and that allopregnanolone becomes really important during that period as well. Unfortunately, it has now been linked to postpartum depression pretty significantly. So in studies that looked at women experiencing postpartum depression, we looked for allopregnanolone in the spinal fluid, which is the fluid that bathes the spinal cord and makes its way into the brain to keep all those nerve tissues healthy. And women who experience postpartum depression and the worst postpartum depression have the lowest amounts of allopregnanolone. So what do we do about that? Well, there is actually an FDA-approved medication for that, but there is also bioidentical hormone replacement. We can utilize the same progesterone and allopregnanolone that we use in our perimenopausal women and our postmenopausal women and also our cycling women to help the postpartum mama as well. So now we know that if allopregnanolone is low in these women that are experiencing postpartum depression, we have some research to show that increasing the levels of allopregnanolone is actually beneficial in helping resolve postpartum depression and prevent postpartum depression. So how do we do that? Here at Protea, we typically give a form of allopregnanolone under the tongue. In our other videos, we have mentioned how important it is to have somebody on your team that knows to look for this stuff. Like I've mentioned previously, we have one single 6-week follow-up in our postpartum journey, and unless we're privileged enough or aware enough to have someone like a doula or schedule additional appointments, we're really just getting that one visit. You'll fill out a questionnaire about postpartum depression. They make you do that at the pediatrician's office as well. And that's it. We're offered antidepressants or anti-anxiety agents, but no real support. And typically women are just told that it'll get better, give it some time, this is normal. But sometimes it isn't normal, and it's also not pleasant to feel depressed, so there are things we can do about it. If we know that allopregnanolone is low in the women who experience the worst postpartum depression, then we need to find a way to raise those levels up, and thankfully that's actually pretty easy to do, and it's safe for even our breastfeeding mamas. So we can derive allopregnanolone by giving progesterone itself. We typically give that under the tongue here in something called a troche. So sublingual progesterone will convert rapidly into allopregnanolone and raise those levels up. It's incredibly helpful for postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety as well. In the postpartum period, allopregnanolone is going to be incredibly important from protecting us from that stress as well, which we all know is high during that period. So if it's low, we want to do some things to raise it up. If you know someone who's struggling with postpartum depression or postpartum anxiety, or a pregnant mama that's hoping to have someone on her team that can help navigate the postpartum period, or if you yourself need some support during this time, please feel free to come and see us here at Protea. We have more than one physician who are happy to help you navigate that period and support you in a way that is safe and healthy for you and baby. If you're looking for more content about postpartum, you can check out my other videos on our channel over on YouTube. Thanks.